Welcome, fellow economic survivors, to another episode of Choose Your Crisis. Today's topic, capitalism versus socialism. Because apparently we love arguing about two systems that both promise heaven and occasionally deliver Detroit. Let's dive into the first contestant, capitalism, the system where you're free to own property, start a business, and chase your dreams. Assuming your dreams come with a venture capitalist, an Ivy League pedigree, and no student loans. Yes, capitalism, the realm of the invisible hand, which, according to Adam Smith in The Wealth of Nations, magically guides resources to their most efficient use. Except when it doesn't. Like, during the 2008 financial crisis, where the only thing invisible was the SEC's supervision. Spoiler alert, they still got bonuses. Capitalism tells you, hey champ, anyone can make it. What it doesn't mention is that while you're building your side hustle on Etsy, the top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 90%. Yes, that's from Piketty, Capital in the 21st Century. But don't worry, you're free to be poor. You can Uber at night, DoorDash during the day, and still not afford rent in San Francisco. Because apparently in free markets, housing is just a speculative asset, not a human right. Now let's pivot to our other fan-favorite ideology, socialism, where instead of inequality we all enjoy equal misery, democratically of course. In socialism, the state lovingly takes the means of production. Translation, your job is now a government job, and your coffee shop, closed. But the good news is, you get a ration card. You see, Karl Marx, in Das Kapital, 1867, argued that capitalism exploits workers by extracting surplus value, which is cute. But when that theory got put into practice in the Soviet Union, we ended up with 5-year plans that took 10 years and a shortage of toilet paper. Because nothing screams equality like everyone waiting in line for cabbage. And let's not forget the shining socialist beacon of our hemisphere, Venezuela, where once they had oil riches, and now they have inflation that made monopoly money look stable. But hey, healthcare was free. You just needed to bring your own scalpel. Case study? According to the Brookings Institution in 2019, Venezuela's collapse included a 65% drop in GDP between 2013 and 2019. That's not a recession, that's an economic nosedive. So let's review, shall we? In capitalism, inequality skyrockets, billionaires race to space, and you're told to pull yourself up by bootstraps you can't afford. In socialism, everyone's equal, equally broke, equally stuck, and equally watching the government misallocate resources like it's a competitive sport. One gives you Amazon Prime, the other gives you state bread lines. Pick your poison, folks. But wait, there's more. Let's sprinkle in some middle ground for fun, social democracy. You know, that Scandinavian unicorn where capitalism and socialism had a baby and named it universal healthcare. Countries like Sweden and Norway use free markets to generate wealth, then tax the bejesus out of it to fund public goods. According to the OECD, Scandinavian countries rank high on economic freedom and social welfare. So maybe, just maybe, we don't have to choose between Ayn Rand's fever dream and a Soviet time machine. But try telling that to Twitter economists who think you either die a libertarian or live long enough to quote Bernie Sanders. Let's not forget our dear friend Milton Friedman, who said in 1962's Capitalism and Freedom that economic freedom is a necessary condition for political freedom. Then again, tell that to Singapore, capitalist as hell, and political freedom, not so much. So according to the experts, we need markets to innovate, governments to redistribute, and common sense, which, tragically, is not in the GDP. Here's the real kicker, no system works perfectly. Especially when you hand it over to corrupt politicians, greedy CEOs, and TikTok influencers who think trickle-down economics is a skincare routine. The truth, economic systems reflect values. Capitalism values freedom and efficiency, sometimes at the cost of dignity. Socialism values equality and security, sometimes at the cost of productivity. So whether you're free to be poor or equally poor together, the real question is, can we build something that doesn't suck? Until then, keep dreaming of a world where billionaires pay taxes and no one has to ration insulin. Or at least where someone finally figures out how to fix housing, healthcare, and hot takes on Twitter. This has been Choose Your Crisis. And remember, you can't spell ideology without LOL.